Los Angeles, California, where the mad scientist party are. Oh, Alex.
Hello there, friends! Welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name's Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who has traded his pants and underwear for some magic beans, and now he's stuffing those magic beans up his boner hole. That's Geoff Clark.
Hey, guys. What's up?
And beaming to us from the top of the Empire State Building, the bearded booger-eating gorilla known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo.
All right, we're back. We're back on track, back on our usual schedule. I feel like I just saw you gentlemen yesterday. Geoff, did you see that people have been offering up their advice to you on your alleged thinning hair?
No.
And do you give a shit enough to try any of it? Like,
why do you say alleged thinning hair?
well, I don't know. I don't want to make Geoff feel like a dickhead.
Yeah.
But then
thanks.
again, it was your own words, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that bad.
I think Kevin worded that perfectly, and I appreciate that, Kevin. Thank you for treating that sensitive subject with such sensitivity. I don't know. I don't think I'm at the point yet where it's that urgent, although that's probably not the right way to look at it, as I'm sure a bunch of the people whose message you're talking about said in their message that I have no idea. Well, where are these messages coming from?
It looked like a lot of YouTube comments, but people that say
That's the last place I go for to read comments, actually.
it was actually the internet, YouTube especially, is usually very counterproductive, but it seemed like people genuinely wanted to help and were either speaking from experience or because some of them I just saw that people had advice and there were a lot of big words. Oh! So I got frightened and cowered from them, but it seems like a lot of people think that you're in a place right now where if you started putting a little bit of effort and doing some of this shit, I don't know if it's fucking taking pills or rubbing slime on your head, but you can freeze it how it is now. Which, I think your hair still looks pretty good. You might suffer from the same thing I do, where, like, if I'm wearing a hat for a while, or if my hair's kind of wet, my hair clumps together and you can see my scalp hardcore.
I don't think. Oh, maybe you have thinning hair as well. I catch it sometimes in the gym when I'm sweaty, and it looks pretty bad up top, and it bums me out. And I probably shouldn't have mentioned it. And I appreciate everyone on YouTube trying to help me out. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to follow the advice. I probably should, right?
If it was as a simple matter of taking a pill, would you do it?
Probably, yeah. I don't really take medication for anything. I don't even take aspirin, but if it's that simple and it's like, it's a solution that actually works, then yeah, I'd probably be stupid to not take it.
What about rubbing slime on your head?
I don't know if I'm going to get around to doing that every night.
I'm not a big slime guy.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'm going to have to slime my head regularly if I want to stop this thinning, balding run that I'm on here.
Well, just think about how when you used to watch Nickelodeon and how cool it was when somebody got slimed. Like, now you have a reason to.
Yeah, fair enough. I was gonna wet blanket the whole slime thing. I wasn't really into sliming on Nickelodeon, but your point stands. I hear you. I'm a fucking cuck. I'm a goddamn cuck.
How could you?
Yeah, pretty much, dude. I wish my nutsack would bald or thin out man, I had a fucking chipmunk worth of hair down there that I chopped off today. I don't know
Really?
why. It was just, yeah, I needed to right before my editorial call, in between my editorial call and this call, or this Zoom, I chopped off my forestation down below.
Was it bad enough to the point where you couldn't even see any nutsack skin through the forest?
Nah, it wasn't that bad, but it was not very comfortable. I mean, maybe this is just me, but I feel like the day or two after shaving your nutsack area is just like, it's just, those are just great days. Those are wonderful days.
Yeah, and then the day following that are horrible days when the stubble comes
Why?
in and you have to do the pinch and roll technique on your nutsack to itch it.
Do you baby powder your nutsack?
I don't. I've never been a nutsack baby powderer. Because I
So
was
you
always
need to
worried that, like, if I powdered my nuts throughout the day when, sweat and grease accumulates,
turns into paper mache and you can make a sculpture out of it.
yeah, it would turn into, like, sludge. And I don't really want my nuts producing exterior paste.
I don't think I've ever heard a more Kevin Kraft take. That makes no sense, but perfect sense coming out of your face. That's just that is your type of logic. And I hear you. I don't know. I mean, how much, you got to think of how much, like, because that could happen, I guess, but how much baby powder are you really applying for that to happen?
Well, that's the thing. I'm a novice, so I wouldn't know if I'm putting on, like, is it supposed to look like an Entenmann's powdered sugar donut? Is it a light
You guys
dusting?
have Entenmann's out west?
I don't even think so,
Or
really.
is that
Really?
just something that the three of us get because of where we're originally from?
No, there's Entenmann's at Ralph's.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. When I was a
I
little
believe you.
kid,
I think I remember seeing it.
chocolate-covered Entenmann's used to be like a staple in our house. And on
Like
weekends...
Little donuts?
No, Fullies. Regular donuts. You take one bite, and then you can dunk it in the milk because you've breached the outer shell. And then the dough is so porous that it can soak up mad milk. And then when you take a bite, it just explodes.
Yeah.
It's like, when you're, oh yeah, those beautiful bastards, see? Shuddy knows what's up.
Do you have those all the time, or is this just a coincidence? I can't really see the
They're
other one.
apple pie minis. It's a coincidence because Entenmann's is fucking expensive. So I buy them when they're on sale, and it was buy one, get one free.
So, Shuddy, when you were off retrieving those, we were talking about the good dunk you can get on Entenmann's in milk.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you don't even have to let it dangle for too long before you take a bite, and it soaks up so much. It's like a milk sponge. And it reminds me of, like, sometimes when you're driving through the snow, like the roads aren't fully plowed, and you see, like, one of those big piles, but you can tell it's wet, and when the tire runs over, it just goes like, just splats.
Yes.
That's what the Entenmann does inside your mouth. It's a milk explosion.
But with the chocolate coating on it, it keeps the milky goodness inside. They'd put it in my mouth. Now that these are sitting on the desk, I kind of want to eat one.
I dare you.
Do it.
Well, I got some exciting news right as we are about to breach the, what do we call it? Like the international dateline? Like right when the Easter egg becomes the pod? Well,
Just say the official showtime.
Are you going to be a dad?
get the fuck out of here.
I wasn't setting. There's no way you could turn that one around on me like you did the first time.
Should we paywall this? But are you guys at the raw dog stage? I mean, I assume not because you don't even fart in front of her. But I don't think you should be raw dogging any chick you're not willing to fart in front of. That's my rule.
Who still uses rubbers 2 years in.
Okay. So you're
other than
you're
people
confirming that you are raw dogging Carl.
I think that's a very crude way of putting it, Geoff.
Yeah.
I like
I'll
to
just
say
text her. I'll find out from her.
In other words, he's putting his fluffernutter in her bing boing, to quote Kevin.
That sounds nothing like something I would say.
That's exactly what you said to Draven when he was on the podcast, when he was going on before he went on that date with a girl.
Well,
I was trying so hard all weekend to think of the phrasing you used, and it just popped into my head right there. Don't put your fluffernutter in her bing boing. It's exactly what you said to him.
Bing boing in that context meant butt. So I was really just trying to help him out there. Either way, the cool news that I got is the rough preliminary budget for the second coming of John Cooper looks very doable.
Well,
There's a few more things that need to be ironed out that could change the cost, like here and there, but it doesn't seem like it's going to fluctuate a ton. And even if it does go up a little bit, still very doable. So once the rest of the details are ironed out, I definitely want to do a Kickstarter and let the Poominati get in and try and offer some cool perks. Like I've been doing some research and looking at other movies that got funded through Kickstarters and stuff, and it seems like the toughest thing is anything physical, because shipping now is just so goddamn expensive. If you're like, oh yeah, well, chip in $25 and you'll get a copy of the Blu-ray when it comes out. It's like, all right, well, eating the cost of the Blu-ray and the shipping is now a net loss for that perk. But it seems like a lot of digital stuff is cool. And then, I don't know, I saw some people were giving away like props from the movie from their Kickstarters. Like if you hit a certain amount, you get props. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited, so I'm just diarrheaing out of my mouth hole. But it looks like very strong now that things are going to go forward.
So then what do we need to make Poop Shark Productions happen? Where do we start with that?
Poop Shart? I will never get any recognition from the Academy with that nonsense, Shuddy.
That's why we're workshopping names. It's not set in stone.
Well, yeah. I've already registered a domain for a production company that I wanted to have, like, I think 5 years ago. It just shows how fucking pathetic my ambitions are. But
one of my favorite porn networks are Dog Fart. Are you gonna have anything as good as that?
No, it'll be something that's like a little bit more reputable. So when people are trying to pitch projects to their clients, they'll be like, there's this interesting new project coming down the pike from Piss Fart. Like, you want to go into business with Piss Fart?
How about you do Kevin Kraft Cinema, but with a K?
Kinema. Kevin Kraft Kinema.
You jerk offs. But I was. Here's the next thing that's hitting me is this wave of anxiety after Carl and I rewatched The Room this weekend. We were trying to find something to watch. I put on last year, I was like, hey, let's watch Disaster Artist. She had never seen it. She never knew anything about The Room. So she loved the movie. I showed her some clips of The Room on YouTube, and she was laughing her ass off. And this weekend was finally the time where she took the bait. I'm like, what do you say we watch The Room? She's like, all right, fine. Put it on. And as we're watching it and laughing at how stupid it is, I started doubting myself and thinking like, fuck.
All right, well, before you go any further.
Yes. Cut him off. He's going to say something stupid again. Yeah.
Are you during moving the rest of the way forward in this process, are you going to think that you know best and not listen to any input from anybody with more experience than you?
Oh, God, no. No.
All right. Well, then stop fucking worrying about making The Room. Because
I mean, I'm not worried about it.
Because you're not a fucking megalomaniac and you're going to defer when you don't know something to other people's common sense ideas.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the screenplay is still the skeleton of the movie. And I've said this before. I've always been confident in like my ability to write some funny dialogue. But when it comes to story structure and the, serious stuff, like the legitimate moments of a movie, I'm like, fuck, is it going to just sound like when Tommy Wiseau is... I guarantee you when he was writing The Room and those parts where his girlfriend cheats on him and he confronts her and he gets all emotional, he fucking paid to keep that movie in theaters to meet the minimum requirement to qualify for an Academy Award. He believed in that movie so much, he thought it was going to win Oscars. But you watch it and you're like, how could anybody think this dialogue is anything but hysterical when he's going for sincere moments? And it's like, fuck, I struggle with that stuff. Is it just going to be like face-palmingly embarrassing?
I think you've had enough people at this point read the script that would be honest with you. And if anyone would have told you that, you would have course corrected.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're just in this position where you're watching your movie on the big screen, that's kind of a win.
It is a win, but I'm not going to lie. I am the type of person where if I get like tons of bad reviews, I'll definitely be a hermit for like a few months. Like no haircuts, no trimming my fingernails. I'm going to piss in jars and poop in them, and Carl's going to hate it. I don't know, man. But
no, I hear you, man. That's why I haven't really shown my face since this NBA losing streak started. So I hate getting bad reviews and bad comments. But I mean, if it gets made, right? I mean, obviously you don't want to fucking lose your ass on it, right? So, I mean, if you break even and it gets made, that's got to be a win.
Of course. It's... Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't most people's first movie not suck is the right word, but I mean, it's a learning process like anything else, unless you're like, I don't know who came out of the just gate with a banger. I guess maybe Paul Thomas Anderson, right? What was this? Wasn't his first movie like Boogie Nights?
Was it
something
Boogie
like
Nights?
that? I mean,
yeah, and I know, like first time stuff, and it's going to be, I just looked at the budget and I was like, whoa, that's fucking cool. If I can
you run your credit card.
If I could keep it at that, that's fucking cool. I know a few people who would be willing to put a little money into this, and if a little bit gets raised from a Kickstarter and then I chip in some, this is easy. This is easily doable. But now that I'm confronted with the fact that, like, dude, all it's going to take now to go forward with this is you just saying go. Now is where all the fucking self-doubt is coming in. But I don't know. I'm going to do it. Either way, I'm just nervous. I'm thinking out loud now because I just got this email.
Does the budgeting include catering?
Yes.
And what are you going to do for catering? Because do I need to join SAG or?
We can't join SAG. You have to be in a film to join SAG, and you have to be in SAG to be in a film. Kevin's tried, because I've asked about this.
Yeah.
So do we join the Writers Guild so I can get a shot at that catering? I want to see what's going on, because I've been on a movie set or a commercial set once, and their catering was pretty sick.
I think in a shoot like this, there's going to be craft services, which is just going to be a bunch of snacks and coffee. And then I think what you do is you just reimburse everybody's meals. So
Okay.
the choice is yours, Geoff, how good the catering is.
Well, as long as you just pay for my McDonald's, I guess I'll be excited.
But I think we can get around SAG rules for extras. So, I mean, there's definitely 2 or 3 scenes that call for a handful of extras. And if you guys don't want to be a part of it, that's going to make me very sad.
Well, Shuddy's, is it going to be shot in Bethlehem? How many different locations are you using, Kevin?
Of course I want to be a part of it.
I mean, I'm super down. As long as there isn't a big Laker game, or it's not football Sunday, or Monday Night Football, or Thursday Night Football. Otherwise...
Actually, you know what? Nope, I can't do it. I have plans that day.
Otherwise...
I didn't even tell you the day, Geoff. Sports on every day.
Baseball season, no good for me. But otherwise, I'm in.
I admire your dedication to staring at men in tights.
I got to find out my losing bet somehow, don't I, Kevin?
Are you still shitting the bed? Are people still sending you death threats?
No.
It's 2023, right? You turn it around.
The thing is that
who was sending him death threats?
Some guy was wishing cancer on Geoff's non-existent children.
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah, that was funny. Was that a sports betting thing? I think it was. My NFL actually did really good. The regular season just wrapped up. I was 10 games above 500 in the contest and was profitable. But my NBA season has been so terrible, and that's like my bread and butter. I can't even be excited about the football wins. The NBA is murdering my sports betting soul.
So that guy that fell on the field, he's awake now and stuff, right? He's doing good.
He went back to Buffalo today.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So he's out of the hospital.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him. So I hope he can play again, but I don't know if that's even an option.
Like he might be so fucked up that he's got to retire.
I think he'll get his full strength back. I haven't read enough of the medical aspect of the story, but I mean, maybe they just don't want him play, right?
I mean, that would be horrible if he goes back out on the field, gets hit again, and then just dies.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Whatever happened with that game? Did they reschedule it?
They canceled it completely.
So what does that mean?
It's pretty confusing, to be honest. But
it means I got fucked out of a fantasy football championship is what it means.
Oh, yeah. So Shuddy had in his fantasy football championship going into that game, it was Monday Night Football, so it was the final game of the week. I think you were up close to 30 points.
I had the quarterback for the Bills going, and he had Joe Burrow and T. Higgins from the Bengals and Dawson Knox from the Bills, the tight end. And when the game got canceled, I was still up. The commissioner of the league called me at noon yesterday asking me how I wanted to handle it. And the option to use week 18's points for those 4 players was on the table. And I decided, you know what, to not take the risk and accept being co-champion. And I got a text message just before the Eagles game started yesterday that if I had let him use the week 18 stats, I would have won by almost 40 points.
So you guys split the pot?
Split the pot, yep.
Huh. Well, hey, at least you got something out of it. I mean,
but
at least
you got some pot.
It's hard to be upset about it also when it's so inconsequential compared to what happened that caused it. You know what I mean? I was trying so hard not to focus on how it was affecting my fantasy football.
So, I mean, what does this do for like the season? Was this an important game? Was there like a lot
Do you
hinging on this?
really want the explanation? Because yes, it's complicated
Probably
and
not.
it was extremely important.
Yeah, you're going to zone out.
Yeah,
So.
I just did when Shuddy Boy was talking about Final Fantasy football.
It definitely threw because the playoffs start next week, so it threw a wrench in the NFL's plans. They've sorted it out. Not everyone's happy, but they're going to make the best out of the situation, and most of America, except for you, is going to watch.
Yeah. I caught on to that by what was going on social media.
Yeah,
like, wow,
it was a big thing, huh?
I'm literally the only person on earth that doesn't follow the NFL.
I feel like few sports stories like penetrate your bubble and make it on your radar. So the fact that you even know what's going on here, it's kind of surprising. I guess not surprising, but it's like, this is like, what's the other sports conversation you've really been into? I think if I remember Kobe's death, and then
anytime something involves like poops or farts, like there was a guy who like farted on chicks, right? Or like ate poop. Wasn't there a poop guy?
I know Outkick just did a story. I guess it was from a TMZ story, but the Bachelorette Hannah Brown a couple of days ago talked about how Dwight Howard is a fart machine. Here, I'll send you guys the article.
That one wasn't even on my radar.
So I guess she was. Oh, all right. So this is a new show that's coming out. I haven't seen it. Special Forces, The World's Toughest Test. It actually looks kind of cool. It's a Fox show.
I think it just came out.
Yeah. And
what does Special Forces mean?
So I think it's just like it's an athletic test, and they have to do like Navy SEAL training.
Whoa. And athletes go on it?
Well, the one athlete's on that, but the girl that said that this guy's farting all the time is former Miss Alabama. And so it's like 16 celebrity contestants. I'm trying to find I can look to see who it is, but there is at least one athlete, and it's Dwight Howard. But I thought they were like dating or something. I guess this guy was on set just fucking ripping them.
You are a fart factory.
Wow.
Yeah. TMZ says he would not stop ripping ass.
Yeah, see, that's the stuff that gets on my radar. And if people are like porking a bunch of people, you know what I mean.
So TMZ, like they're known to do, ran up on her at LAX. I don't really know how this conversation happened. I don't know, whatever. But she said it was probably tougher than it can ever be captured on camera. She goes on to say it was incredible, but like incredibly challenging in every way because there was no break.
And his farting?
I think so, yeah.
I wonder, like, because on TV and movie sets nowadays, it seems like things have changed vastly from how they used to be. And with, no tolerance of being an asshole, sexual harassment, if you're just endlessly ripping stinky farts, like, I proved it this weekend. It's possible to hold your farts in. I didn't fart around Carl, even though I was locked and loaded.
Jeez.
What a pussy.
Dude, if I had farted around
You're a raw
Carl,
dogger, but you won't fart.
Yeah. What does that say about your manhood?
It says I have my priorities straight.
Yeah, I can see that argument. Dude, if I farted in front of Carl this weekend, she would not even been friends with me. I tweeted this out. My farts, like my diet and my daily intake is peak football season. I have not eaten anything healthy in a long, long time. And my farts were terrible. It really smelled like death. It was disgusting.
Well, she would have been like one of the Nazis when they look at the Ark in Indiana Jones. She would have just like melted.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it was gross. It kind of bummed me out sometimes, but then sometimes I was impressed. Like, wow, I am on a heater right now.
Oh, I made that. There goes Geoff Jr. I'm so proud of him.
Gas child right there. Little gas Clark.
Well. Oh, let's see.
Oh, mama.
I forgot to mention this last week. I think I might have just teased it, but Geoff, if I remember correctly, you were a fan of Marriage Story, right?
I did like that movie, yeah.
Has the movie White Noise made it to your radar?
I tried to watch the first 10 minutes and I was a little tired and I don't know, it didn't really grab me, but it was only 10 minutes. So, and then I saw your text last week, I think. I don't think I'm going to be circling back on White Noise. What were your thoughts?
It was, I kind of feel like what I was seeing was what you were seeing when you watched Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, wow. Is that bad? Hey, you're about to join the filmmakers fraternity, so take it easy.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know that was one of those projects that going into it, they knew this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
So your text message confused the fuck out of me because I thought you were talking about the Michael Keaton White Noise movie.
Oh, the horror movie.
Yes.
Pretty good.
I don't know if I've seen that. I saw it in pieces, and I remember there's a part where like a face comes out of a staticky TV, and that freaked me out.
Yeah, it bothered. That scared me.
Yeah, there was this show on, God, what was it called? Like Sightings, something like that. Some ghosty show when I was young, and it was usually like 3 stories in 1 hour, and they talked to this guy who for some reason he set up his camcorder and recorded his TV on static. So he just put his TV on channel 1 or something. Bunch of static going
Looking
on.
for porn?
Yeah, maybe. He was like, oh, that's either a titty or an elbow. Either way, I'm beating my meat to it.
Yeah, either way, I can jerk off to that.
So he sets up a tripod, puts his camcorder on it, and just films this staticky TV. And when he played it back, his dead daughter's face was in it. And they showed a clip of it. And it fucking chilled me to my core as a child. I was terrified. Anytime there was static on the TV, I would like avert my eyes. I'm like, I don't want to see a ghost face. Freaked my ass out.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about the White Noise movie with Michael Keaton.
So when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh, shit. They fucking harvested my fears. But yeah, Geoff, I feel like that could almost be an Oscar punishment in itself, making you watch White Noise start to finish.
It was that bad, huh?
It's just, there were parts of it where I was like, all right, there's some very clever conversations happening. But then it would just get so weird, I couldn't follow it or make sense of what was going on. And it's divided up into parts that it's almost like 3 movies in one, where there's a disaster and then everybody's freaking out about a toxic cloud coming over the town. And then it focuses on them trying to solve the mystery of what medication their mom is taking. And it's I think it even qualifies as an absurdist film, which I guess is a genre, but it was tough for me. I'm a very stupid man, so when I'm watching something that doesn't make sense, it breaks my stupid hamster brain.
Yeah, the synopsis is dramatizes a contemporary American family's attempts to deal with the mundane conflicts of everyday life while grappling with universal mysteries of love, death, and the possibility of happiness in an uncertain world. Noah Baumbach. I don't know who Noah Baumbach is, but that name gives me douche chills.
He's the guy that wrote and directed Marriage Story, starring Adam Driver.
Sure. Good movie. He's a Netflix guy, I guess. He did the Meyerowitz stories, right? Isn't that with Ben Affleck or Ben Stiller and Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah.
Familiar with that one.
And Sandler's in it, right?
Yep. But I mean, yeah, I guess I take it back. I did like Marriage Story. I forgot how many dicks I gave it, but
I think it was
at least four
or above.
Yeah, I think it was at least 4.
But yeah, White Noise I couldn't get behind.
Man, he studied at Vassar College. I heard that place sucks. It's like super expensive, super strict, not cool at all.
Yeah, it always blows my mind when colleges aren't cool. Like the college that I went to ended up being a dry campus, which never really affected my partying. We just used to have Bonbon put on an Inspector Gadget coat and fill up every pocket with 40s and then just waddle past the RA, clinging and clanging, and just be like, oh, my bones are making some funny noises again.
Yeah, we were on a dry campus as well, but we got around that.
Dry campus? It's college! What are you doing?
I can't talk too much shit because I went to a Catholic university. So it's like, I kind of knew it up front, you know?
Did they make you pray and shit?
No.
Did you have to like kneel down and do the rosaries at the start of every class?
No, I had to there were mandatory theology courses. We had to take 3 theology courses. That was like the only like big difference that I noticed about like going to a Catholic school, private university compared to public.
What led to you going to a Catholic university?
Well, I wanted to be in New York City.
I wanted to be a priest.
And I wanted to go to a decent athletic university. And I'm a big basketball fan. St. John's is a well-known basketball program. Kind of sucks now.
Did you try out for the team?
No.
Somebody tagged me on Twitter or something in a video with like a large gentleman playing college basketball and just sinking all these shots. And they were like, look, it's Geoff.
No, I know who you're talking about though. But no, that fat guy couldn't even play at St. John's. I mean, no, it's a legit basketball program. I couldn't even play pickup with the guys. Like they were that fucking good.
Man.
Yeah, I played once with them.
So basketball factored into your decision to go to that school, but just to watch them play?
I wanted to live in the city. I wanted to live in New York, in NYU. I didn't have the grades to make it. Definitely would have had the money to be in there. And every other college in New York City is it's either fucking gay or academic, right? Like Columbia, like that's an Ivy League school, really tough to get into, but like no athletic program. And I couldn't have gotten in there with my grades. Pace, FITM, like those are, more for chicks. Then you have the Cooney schools, none of which have any like athletic profile. I was always like torn between Syracuse University and St. John's. But I ended up wanting to live in the city after I was just sick of like living in upstate New York, and I wanted to live in the city. So that's why that was like my first, really only choice for college. I was thinking about transferring my freshman year to either Syracuse or UCLA out here, but I ended up just sticking it out in St. John's, and I made my decision. I was so stupid.
Like I didn't know really anything about college. Nobody really talked me up from my family. Like, when you're in your senior year, this is what you have to start thinking about. Or maybe they did, and I was just stoned. But I really was so unprepared for college. I had no idea what was going on. Like, I knew I wasn't going to get into any like big name, popular, good schools. And then it just became, I was dating this girl that lived in Pennsylvania in, Miguel's hood. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to a school that's close to her. So all I pretty much looked at was the phone numbers for the college. And I matched the area code. I was like, oh, this school has the same area code as my girlfriend. I'll apply there. And then we broke up like a month after I got in. And I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm staying the course.
Yeah, right. And so that's what you did. You stayed the course in college, right?
For how long? A semester?
Yeah,
One
what
and
do
a
you
half,
consider
3
staying the
semesters.
course?
3 semesters, 3. Yeah. I made it 3. I was not prepared for how fucking hard college was.
I gone to college, followed with my life plan before I veered off course and went away to the state school I was going to, I would have been lucky to have also made it 3 semesters.
I mean, since Dom and Bonbon went there, was there any thought like, oh, maybe I'll join them?
Well, when I was applying to schools, I wanted to go to Kutztown. And I was going to apply, but my parents had a rule that the only way I could apply to a school is if they went and visited it.
Wait,
Were they
beforehand?
going to definitely pay for your school too?
Well, it was going to be student loans and shit. So it wasn't like they had, as far as I knew, but I had been to Kutztown a bunch already in my senior year because of Dom going there. That I was like, I don't need to go do a school tour. I don't need to go do that nonsense. And they told me I was not allowed to apply there.
Wow.
So I was going to go to Lock Haven, which is even more in the middle of nowhere than Kutztown is. Like Kutztown, at least if you drive 20 minutes in several directions, you get to a fairly large city in that part of the state. But Lock Haven, there are a couple of other small state schools around, and then the closest thing is State College, and that's 45 minutes to an hour away. So I would have been on an island of nothing but alcohol or homework.
Yeah, I was on the alcohol island. I saw
the
homework
not
island.
Have been on homework island at all. I didn't do my homework in high school when my parents were hovering over me with zero oversight. I would not have that's anything but partying.
That's what happened to me. I did
I know
2 years in a summer at Bing Boing School where they pretty much just wiped my tushy. There were times there was a scheduled part of the day where everybody had to return to their rooms, do homework, and study. And somebody walked around and checked to make sure you weren't fucking off or playing GoldenEye somehow.
That's not that. Was that on top of study hall?
No, we didn't really have study hall.
You're talking about high school, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you did. You're explaining study hall to me. I mean, there was a whole class in college or in high school. It was study hall. You just sat there and studied or did nothing. I don't know.
This was after hours. This was like after dinner, I think. Everybody had to go back to their dorm rooms.
Damn. Did you have like a shorter schedule?
No. It was a regular school day.
You were in school from like 8 to 3 every day, and then afterwards, even after that, they had
mandatory homework time.
And then there was another hour of mandatory free range Bing Boing time where you weren't allowed in the dorms and you had to either go to the gym or play volleyball or play soccer or swim if the weather was appropriate.
Could you play basketball?
No. I did. I would often play.
Did you play basketball? He was asking, I think Geoff was asking, was basketball an option?
Oh, it was an option.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, the options I took, I joined the wrestling team for the first year that it was offered at the school. Because when I was going to public school, one of my best friends was like a really good wrestler, like winning championships all the time. And we hung out every single day and we annoyed the shit out of each other, especially when we were playing like Twisted Metal or something. And we would fight a lot. And I had really, really long legs, so he would have me pinned on the ground, but I would get my legs free and just use my heels to fucking kick him in the kidneys while he was on top of me. And he's like, man, you're so fucking annoying to fight with because you got these long, lanky limbs. He's like, you'd probably be a good wrestler if you tried out. But it was intimidating. The thought of doing sports at a public school intimidated me. But at Bing Boing school, not so much. And it was just me and the other Bing Boings wrestling each other until the coach was like, okay, we're going to take you to a school that's had a proper wrestling program for a while. And they paired me up against some kid who was like 2 or 3 years younger than me. I had like a 1.5 feet on this kid. And I'm like, this little pipsqueak is dead. And in a split second, I was tied up in a human knot. I didn't even know what hit me. So I didn't do that again. But then I joined the golf team, and I got us kicked off the local golf course.
That tracks.
Yeah, all that adds up.
Smoking too many ciggies, trying to hit the ball like Happy Gilmore, and swearing too loudly. And at the
all
time
of that makes total sense.
At the time of my graduation, our school was persona non grata at that golf course. And
hopefully
the cemetery.
They repaired the relationship since you've been gone.
We got banned from the local cemetery too.
That's terrible. I don't even want to know how that
I had nothing to do with that
happen?
one. I didn't have anything to do with it. There was like an art class that sometimes took field trips to the cemetery to do the thing where you put a piece of paper up against a stone and then rub a pencil on it.
I've actually been to a cemetery once in my life. I don't know. I don't even really know what you're talking about.
Well, you can hold a piece of paper up against anything that's grooved, run a pencil on it sideways, and it creates like a little copy of it. You know that trick.
Okay.
Like in Big Lebowski, when he does the little thingy and it's a stick figure holding his big dick.
Okay.
It's like that,
All
but
right.
you do it with headstones. And
Sure.
one of the graves was a big sphere. And one of the kids just fucking got behind it and drop kicked it and knocked it loose, and Indiana Jones rolled down a hill.
Yeah. What a scumbag. Little fucker.
Yeah.
Hopefully that kid's father beat his ass.
But it wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Hey, I believe you, man. I was a nerd going in high school and going into college. So my college curriculum studying wasn't really hard at all. I was kind of lucky in that sense. My high school was really competitive, and I went into college with 6 college credits, 6 college credits ahead of time.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. My parents were jamming the importance of college down my throat since I was in middle school. So it was just something that I was kind of always aware of and trying for. And then everyone in my high school went to some sort of college, and
you made it
I
out.
don't know.
You're the one Mad Scientist Party Hour host that graduated college.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there was never an idea of me dropping out. I probably should have went to a cheaper school, but no, I mean, I kind of hit the ground running in college. I didn't even smoke pot until a few months after I graduated college. I mean, I drank and partied, but I don't know, college is pretty cool for me, and it wasn't very challenging educationally because I took sports management, which turned out to be a very easy major. I had a pretty decent scholarship going into college, and I could have lost it actually. I had a really bad freshman semester, my first semester, but I just got shitty professor luck. I got bad professors, and that was your freshman year of college is the first semester is the only semester you don't pick your own professors. So afterwards I, used ratemyprofessor.com, which was very, very useful, and picked student friendly teachers, professors.
Yeah, I didn't.
So,
I don't even think I knew that you had to pick your own classes. And then someone told me, and they're like, "Dude, it's almost done. You got to get over there." So I ran over, and there was nothing left. I just got the fucking scraps of whatever was left that semester.
oh my God.
I had no idea what college entailed. None. I thought it was just going to be like high school. Wait a second. I pick my classes? Wait, okay. Do you have Eating Donuts 101? I think I initially went into college as a theater major, and then
really
got so weirded out by theater that I was undeclared. And I'm like, can you graduate and major in undeclared? Like, will they just let me out? Which I think the answer is no. But this theater teacher, she was so fucking weird. She did this thing. I might have talked about this on the show before, but, we got a lot of new people joining up. I gotta stand up for this one. So she goes, okay, from the floor to here is one plane. And from here to here is plane 2. And then from here to here is plane 3. Now, what I want you to do, class, explore all of these planes. And I'm like, what the fuck is she talking? Go! And I look around and everybody in the class is like, just wiggling around like fish and eels. And I'm like, what the fuck are these ass clowns doing? And I'm like, all right, well, I got to start doing that too. I'm the only person just standing here looking around. So I start going like, and out of nowhere, she just goes, freeze! And everybody just froze in whatever position they were in. And they're just holding it. And she goes around and she's getting like an inch from people's faces going, oh, 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 like quivering like that. And I'm, 18-year-old stoned Kevin is like, and I'm like, please don't come to me. Please don't come to me. Please don't come to me. And of course, right to me, I can smell her breath and she's, oh, Kevin, that's so powerful. Oh, that's so powerful. And I'm just like, oh, get away from me. And I don't think I ever went back.
Why?
That was so weird. And now, of course, looking back,
maybe
I get
had
it.
you finished that semester of that class, you wouldn't be so concerned about Tommy Wiseauing
I know.
John Cooper.
Look, I'll be the first person to admit, at every point in my life where there was a pivotal decision to be made, I made the wrong one. I consistently fucked up every important step in my life. And that's why I'm 40 and in the position I'm in.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I hear you. I mean, schooling was just the opposite for me. I just kind of made like a bunch of good decisions. My freshman year of high school, I pretty much aced everything. So then I became like an honor roll student and I took classes, like tough classes, 10th grade. And I was in this really, really difficult, it was called world culture, world literature. And it's just, yeah, you just study world culture and world literature, but it was like a 90-minute class and it was like a 60-person class. It was like joined honors, English, and social studies. And everyone talked about how hard this class was. Like we had to do a 45-minute speech. Like that was like one of the big projects. You had to do a 45-minute speech on a book you read.
Oh, can I talk really slow?
You had to do
cat in the hat.
We had to do like 5 book reports, but they were in class and like they were scheduled throughout the year. So like you had to read the book and then write like 5 pages on it, like in the middle, like during the class. Right. I mean, obviously it was a whole class set aside for that. So it was like the most challenging shit. And like, I went into the class, like the first day, like, oh, I'm going to drop out of this class. I don't even know why I signed up for it. Right. And that was like my whole thing is that I'm just going to like, whatever, I'll go to the first week, but I'm going to get out. Like I'm going to talk to my counselor. And the teacher, Mr. Vaccaro, his name was, he ended up writing me a recommendation or what is it? What's the word? A referral? Whatever. He wrote to St. John's, the school that I went to, vouching for me. I don't know why I'm spacing out on what to call that right now.
Recommendation. You were right the first time.
Okay. I was being an idiot.
Is this a class in high school or college?
High school.
Oh.
And
I was confused too.
Yeah. I was like, why was he recommending you to the school you're already enrolled in?
No. So he's my favorite teacher ever. And I went into this class just like assuming I was going to fucking drop out of it and bail. And like, I didn't take it seriously. And then he like kind of gave a fucking pep talk to the entire class. He's like, hey, this class is difficult. It's going to challenge you. And you're going to be very frustrated with the homework we give you. and the curriculum, but I can promise you, if you stick with it, if you put up with the grind and you give it your all and you graduate from this class, it's going to make you a stronger person. It's going to make you smarter, and it's going to really help you moving forward. And like, I locked in on that. You. I locked in on the speech, and he like fucking moved me, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm this, and it was like my first honors class. I was like, I'm gonna fucking stick it out. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
And it's still one of like the better experiences I've ever had. Like I fucking love that class. Like I learned about art, like the history of art up until like probably the 1960s. And I don't have this ability anymore, but I could look at like a sculpture or a painting or even like architecture and like explain its importance, explain its meaning, explain like the themes of the art or the sculpture or the architecture. I wish I still could do it, but yeah, I remember just him giving me the whole class, the pep talk, where it's just like, it's easy to quit, but it's more satisfying if you stick it out and just pretty much like, I took it as him calling me a pussy. I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah, let's do this. I'm down.
I'm not a pussy. I'll assess some art right now. Man, I got to say, art critic Geoff is potentially my favorite multiverse Geoff variant.
Dude, I mean, I love
that one. Actually admits that he's gay, right?
That guy.
Oh, the statue of David. I believe the purpose of this sculpture is to point out the importance of having a micro penis. This says it's okay to have a little dick, and I relate with that.
So what's funny about that is that's the Roman and Greek, like Hellenistic culture, like art culture. They like celebrated idealism and like individuality. And so that's why like a lot of the sculptures are these ripped, muscular dudes, like these good looking guys. But I always like I never asked in the class, but I was like, why does that guy have a little dick? Like if we're, even when I was like not as immature or like super locked into the class, I always thought like, why does this guy have a little penis? Like,
I'm just concerned about his wiener.
It's just like, dude, like if their whole shit is
I wouldn't fuck that.
Whoops.
Individualism and like the celebration of the human man and all of his glory, why wouldn't they give this guy a thundercock?
I've seen probably 20 naked dudes.
Like David has had to live with a micro penis for centuries, for thousands of years, pretty much at this point. And I feel for him. Like this guy beats Goliath and they give him a fucking micro penis.
It must have been winter when you fought that Goliath. It was just cold.
I'm just concerned about his wiener.
I honestly would love to go back and retake that class because like the stuff that I learned about art, I find the Renaissance period very interesting. I just find like art and art history very, very interesting. I guess not interesting enough though, right?
I'll take piss in the butthole.
I should just give up sports gambling and become like a fucking art curator. Every time I piss, it smells terrible. I want 2 cows to
serious
fuck me.
time is over.
I want 2 cows to fuck me.
Yeah, Kevin is done with serious conversation.
You want to talk about the AFC playoff picture now, Kevin?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, would you like us to explain the impact of the canceled Bills-Bengals game again?
I'm interested in hot dogs of different nations.
You can weigh in on how if it isn't bullshit that Buffalo and Cincinnati might have to play in a neutral field.
Yep. You lost me. I don't know what any of those words mean.
Did you guys watch anything?
I tried.
Other than white noise?
I tried to go to the theater, and I got tickets. I got tickets to see this movie Broker, which is a Japanese director and Korean cast, and it has the main guy from Parasite, the dad from Parasite in it. And I think that dude's a fucking juggernaut of an actor. I love that guy. So I'll pretty much watch any movie he's in. And I show up to the fucking Alamo Draft House, and there's a notice on the door, be like, "Oh, sorry, we're closed. We had technical issues." It's like, you fucks can't just send out an email to everybody who bought a ticket, or like, the fuck? So
Are you sure they didn't?
Yes, 100%, because I went Karen on them in an email. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, our whole system was down. We couldn't send emails." It's like, oh, give me a fucking break. You could have if you wanted to. But, yeah, I got cock-blocked on seeing a movie in the theater, so Carl and I rented Decision to Leave, which is by the guy who did Old Boy, Chan-wook Park. And it was cool. It was a cool fucking movie. It was long. It was a little bit confusing because there's a lot of shit to keep track of, and the editing was a little disorienting. Like, scenes would just get cut in the middle, and then you're like, wait a second, is this happening now? Is this a flash forward? Is this a flashback? So it would take a second before you would realize what was happening in a scene. So it kept you on your toes a little bit. It's definitely not like a sit back and relax. You kind of got to pay close attention to it. But it was well done, beautifully shot, well acted. It was fucking cool. It's a 3.75 dicker. I enjoyed it. It's like a little bit of a murder mystery type thing. Murder mystery, romance, intrigue. But yeah, I zipped that one up quick because I know it's an artsy-fartsy one. And majority of people probably don't give a flying fuck. What about you guys?
I attempted to watch a steaming pile of poopy on Hulu last night.
A Hulu poop?
Correct.
Snoopy Poop Dog!
It stars Lil Rel.
Poop!
The fuck is that?
He's a comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. What was he in?
He's been in...
Was he in Get Out?
He was in Get Out.
Yeah.
He was the best friend in Get Out.
I know that guy.
He was in Free Guy, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And Josh Brenner, who was Big Head in Silicon Valley.
Oh, yeah. I like that guy,
and
too.
It's called Bromates.
I've never even heard of that.
It just popped up on Hulu. I get it. Fucking awful. I turned it off after an hour. It's about two dudes who have been best friends since they were kids, and they both break up with their girlfriends and become roommates.
Oh, Snoop Dogg's in it?
It's a Snoop Dogg's production company movie.
Wow. I'm looking over Rob Riggle.
Taryn Manning.
Yep. I know her. I know she's been in stuff. Not a good one, though, huh, Shuddy?
No.
So you watched an hour of this hour-and-a-half movie and bailed.
Correct.
You were so close to the end.
It wasn't even, I couldn't. It was just, even though it's the first time in a while I've watched one of these, like this was very much, it felt like a straight to VHS movie. Like at one point they're at a redneck beauty pageant, and it just feels like they shot, like the location, it just was a very cheap location shoot, and you could tell.
Well, I can't exactly hate on that.
So that's one thing I'm going to have to help you avoid, looking like a location shoot from a 90s era sitcom. That's kind of what it looked like.
Yikes.
Or like one of those newer National Lampoon movies.
Oh yeah, like the Naked Mile, or I heard that in that time of National Lampoon that somebody new took over the company and was just licensing out National Lampoons. So you could make a movie. Like, I could make the John Cooper script. And then all I would have to do is pay National Lampoon $100,000, and they will put National Lampoon's The Second Coming of John Cooper. So there was no quality control. There was no yes or no. It was just, you pay this fee, you get it. So that's why so many of those movies around that era had a National Lampoon's thing. And it's like, wow, how do you go from like Animal House, Vacation to, you know, Stifler's third cousin in college hosting a wet t-shirt contest? It's pretty wild. But anyway, yeah. What was this? Bromance? Bromates. 2 thumbs down from old Shuddy Boy,
Yeah,
huh?
Don't waste your time. As I just said in my Letterboxd D review, let the hour I wasted of my life be in vain, and go watching this pile of shit.
Wow. Well, what about you, Geoff? You watch anything?
I watched the first few episodes or first few parts of the Bernie Madoff documentary, which was pretty good. It was like partially dramatized, which was a little weird, but they also had footage of Bernie Madoff giving like his statements in the police interview. They kind of spliced that footage, actual like audio tapes of Bernie Madoff with the dramatized stuff. It was pretty good. I still got to finish it. He seems like a chiller dude than maybe the crime would suggest, to be honest. Just kind of snowballed on him, you know? One thing led to another, and he ended up stealing like $65 billion.
Do they have footage of him dying?
I don't know. I guess I didn't make it that far. Is he dead? You said
I think he's
of him
dead.
dying.
I think he's dead, right? Isn't Bernie Madoff dead?
Yeah.
His former like employees like really liked him. I guess he treated them all pretty nice, and like,
Because he probably wasn't stealing from them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're riding out for Bernie, he took care of you.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
What's that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. I want to check out. There's a bunch of stuff on Netflix that I want to check out. I want to check out that new Christian Bale movie where either he's Edgar Allan Poe or he's a detective teaming up with Edgar Allan Poe to like, I think it's like a murder mystery set in those times. And either one of you guys interested in that new show Kaleidoscope? It's with Gus Fring.
Yeah, I'm curious about it, but it's like, I know it's a heist show. It's 7 or 8 episodes, and the gimmick is it's not chronological. So you can choose which order you watch the episodes, which are all titled a different color. And it's kind of intriguing, and I give Netflix props because they did that, choose your own adventure Black Mirror episode, which was neat. I don't know. I feel like when you watch as many movies as I do, anything that's sort of breaking the norm, or like, hey, this is going against the grain. This doesn't follow the exact format every other fucking thing follows. I wanted to check it out, but I saw it was getting lukewarm reviews, and I don't know, man. It takes a lot to get me to watch a series. It's such a fucking investment that, like, all right, here we go, episode 1 of 24 hours worth of content to watch. It's like, I'd rather just watch a 90-minute movie. So I feel like getting lukewarm reviews was kind of preventing me from kicking it off.
It nudged you back on the opposite side of the fence, kind of.
Yeah.
Does it feel less time-consuming knowing that you can kind of pick your own path?
A little bit. But I was hoping people would be like, holy shit, you gotta check this out. And it looks like most of it is just like, it's okay.
Fair enough. There's a new cooking show on Netflix, which I watched like 4 episodes on last night. That was pretty good, actually.
Oh no, are we gonna have to kick off a new Patreon show for it?
I don't think so. It doesn't have Gordon, doesn't have Joe B, doesn't have. The elimination process is a little lamer. It's not by judges. It's by like vote. It's like Survivor meets a cooking competition. So you got to play some politics. but I watched like 3 episodes. Like some of the dishes are bomb. Like the
high
cooking
food shop
scenes.
score?
What's up?
Had a high food shop score?
Almost all of them have high food chub scores. There's really very few failures, to be honest. It's pretty impressive. But it's called Pressure Cooker. It's pretty good, but it's definitely not going to steal any thunder from Gordon Ramsay, who should be back with Next Level Chef. I don't know if you ever watched that one, but
no, I'm just waiting for more. Is there like an echo going on?
My brothers are talking outside my room. Maybe that's what you hear.
Well, quick Patreon note while we're on the subject. There's going to be a little bit of a flip-flop this week. I believe the new episode of Dragon Ball Queef with our first guest ever, Shuddy Boy, is going to be dropping on Thursday, and Queef or No Queef is going to be delayed a day for Friday with another guest. The first and only guest we've ever had on Queef or No Queef, Chris Naboa, the holder of the daggers. So hopefully that means we're going to get new drops to add to the arsenal and not just these two.
Ooh, it's a dagger. That is another dagger.
So just a quick Patreon content programming note. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
Well, let's chip away then at Mount.
Voicemails, yay!
It's so cold in my room. It's terrible.
Oh, I have a David penis. Okay, where the fart did we leave off? Is it... What the fuck? Oh, this one. Okay, here we go. You know what? I'm going to stay one step ahead of the iPad. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. Ha! Fuck you!
What's up, MSPH? This is Colton the Carpenter in St. Louis. I'm listening to episode 5.
Shitty pizza.
Guys, I just had to pause it because you're talking about pre-Netflix and chill Bone Zone movies. And I graduated high school in 2007, and I had a couple of Bone Zone movies. The first one was I, Robot, and the second one was The Incredibles. And I mean to say that I've seen the first probably 30 minutes of both of those movies more times than I care to admit.
How does The Incredibles lead to the Bone Zone?
I don't know. iRobot kind of makes sense. That's the one with Will Smith, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
iRobot can be boiled down to, man, do I want to keep watching this movie, or should I just start making out with them to get out of watching the rest of it?
Was that movie bad?
It's not
like
great.
I watched it. I don't remember. I remember it being like pretty good, but I'm also a Will Smith stan.
Yeah, or maybe the chick just finds Will Smith so handsome that she wants to go immediately to the Bone Zone. But The Incredibles,
Will Smith acting as a lubricant.
A Pixar movie leading to the Bone Zone? That's a fucking weird one. I mean, I've had some weird Bone Zone movies in my day. I think Grandma's Boy was a reliable go-to. My one buddy never deviated from Haggard, the Bam Margera movie. He said that worked like 100% of the time. Hey, you want to watch a movie? Get 10 minutes into Haggard, and then, boom, Bone Zone.
I don't know anything about that movie. Is the rationale that it sucks? It's similar to like iRobot. It sucks, and I'm gonna fuck to get out of here. The girl's thinking.
I mean, it's been years since I've seen it, but I remember liking it. I remember thinking Haggard was a good movie. I mean, if you like Bam, if you don't like Bam, it's just nothing but Bam antics. So, all right. Well, let's see. Man, Colton with his fucking Pixar Bone Zone movie.
But I've probably seen the ending to them each 2 or 3 times, and those were the nights that I couldn't seal the deal. So it's funny that you guys brought that up. I had to call in and let you know. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I'm approved for a medical card in the state of Missouri. So I still got to go through.
Whoa. I didn't even know Missouri got down like that. Yikes.
Welcome to the real world.
Missouri's a deep red state. You must be terminal. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, you must be dying.
Yeah.
The state approval process, but I've got a doctor's recommendation, and I might not need Poominati to pee in cups for me because I might be legit here before too long.
Fuck
Wish
yeah.
me luck. Love you. Bye.
Nice.
You'll have to call back so in 3 months or 4 months we can find out how it went for you.
Yeah. That was
if
October.
you haven't already.
I'm sure he has.
Well, then.
All right, let's see. This one?
Hey, well, it's small country. MSPH.
No,
Wait.
You're gave it away. This is Daddy Poampy Dick or whatever.
Is it small? Does he say his name is Small Country?
Yeah.
He does, yes.
Okay.
Specifically, Jeffrey Clark. Would you suck a dick? Or would you rather suck a dick, or when you go down on a girl, it always has like
A penis.
a little bit of butt cheese and stuff like that. Like,
Wait, why would she have butt cheese in her vagina? That's awful.
Yeah.
there's some Flex, there's some toilet paper, I mean, you ever gone down on a girl and there's a little bit of toilet paper?
Not this
and you're
again.
like,
Yeah, I've been hearing this a lot in stand-up lately, and Carl and I were watching Joe Coy's newer special, and he's talking about, like, licking pussy and getting, like, toilet paper in your mouth, and I think Big J. Okerson's talked about it in his stand-up, and I gotta say, I don't think I've ever had a vagina in my face that had toilet paper stuck to it.
Neither have I.
Me neither.
I feel blessed that I've encountered so many vaginas and I have so few horror stories.
I'm starting to think I haven't encountered enough vaginas.
I think you might be onto something, Jeff.
Let me tell you what, guys. I haven't seen toilet paper on a vagina in years, so I don't even know what this guy's talking about.
Yeah. What's a vagina?
fuck it. But what if there was also a little bit of turdage? You know what I'm saying?
So now there's turds in this woman's vagina?
I don't know what you're fucking saying. No one knows what you're talking about, Small Country.
Yeah. You should do some dress rehearsals beforehand. We're all confused.
I would just not eat vagina anymore. That's how I'd process. That's how I would avoid that dick.
All right. There you go.
Frankly, it was pretty easy. Gave me an easy one.
Yep. Question answered. All right. Let's do one more.
Do something I'm not that into, or suck a dick. It's easy.
What's up, Mad Scientist Party Hour? It is Doug, a.k.a. Left Nut. I used to call way back in the day. Episode 1, I'm one of the most OG of OG Poominati.
Wow.
And I just had to call in because of a Patreon thing. So sorry for everyone who doesn't double dip on that, but you should be. No jeans washing is the way to go. I'll tell you right now, every pair of pants I own, except for my jeans, I wash. They shrink, sizes change, they get worn out faster.
Okay, a guy who doesn't wash his jeans. He buys into that whole cult of denim where they say washing your jeans is a mortal sin. Do me a favor. Sniff the ass of your favorite jeans and then call us back with a review. And I guess we'll find out in 6 months. But there's no way the ass or even like the taint nutsack portion of your jeans smell all that pleasant. It can't be. You fart in your pants and it filters them. And that means doo-doo crystals get stuck in the fabric. There's poop in your pants, sir. There's poop.
Funny that you think farting in your pants puts poop in your pants, but sharting is not shitting your pants.
I mean, years and years and years of farting, I feel like that'll accumulate. Like if you change the air filter in your car, you're like, whoa, what are all these dingleberries doing?
Well, you're really quick there, Kevin, but Shuddy pointed out a very glaring contradiction. And he was even quicker, I'd say. I don't remember this conversation we talked about now where I very rarely wash my jeans.
We talked about it because in one of the Shuddy Boys fucking news articles, there was a pair of Levi's from the 1800s that sold for a ton of money.
That's right. Yeah.
And you asked if they had been washed.
Fair enough.
The first 2 weeks is going to suck, maybe. But after that, they get this almost waxed quality to them. Water feeds off. Stuff doesn't stick as much.
Yeah, because it's covered in your grease. Fuck, dude.
And the spot cleaning thing works. If you get a smell, you throw them in the freezer. It kills the smell. I promise it works.
Yeah, but then all your chicken nuggets smell like ass.
And as far as buying...
I don't get why throwing your jeans in the freezer is a better idea than washing them.
I know. And like,
what's the goal? I don't get it.
I don't want to spot clean my jeans. I'm too lazy for that. Throw them in the wash. I've washed all of my jeans. They look fine.
Yeah, and if anything, you just buy like new jeans.
Yeah, we're not fancy jean boys. We get the fucking, $70 ones.
Yeah, I rocked $70, $80 Levi's. Very good.
The ancient jeans from, the 1880s mine shaft or whatever. For people that know about it, think about it like buying an original, adventure comics or whatever. It's an art piece. That's probably something that's going to get hung on a wall and looked at and like, damn, I have one of the most OG original pieces of history, especially American history. It's a cool time capsule. Take it easy, Poominati.
Well, the perspective of a jean lover, a jean junkie. I'll take your word for it, man, but I'm going to continue to do my laundry.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna err on the same side as Kevin. Actually, I don't even wear jeans enough to wash them. That's the thing.
Do you just wear shorts all the time? Basketball shorts?
Yeah, like I never put on pants. Tonight will be the first time I'm gonna wear pants. I don't know, in months. Maybe since the last time I saw you.
No shit.
I mean, I don't go out very often, right? So, there's no reason to wear jeans while I'm fucking sitting on my couch watching sports.
Fair enough. All right, well, say we're going to call it a day here. Head on over to Patreon land. If you kind friends would like to join us, patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. If you're listening to this and you haven't listened to that, you're going to love that. Because some people love that more than this, which is kind of a noodle scratcher. But tons of content, updating all the time. Are you guys still there? What did I do?
Yeah, we're still here.
Oh, that scared me for a second. Yeah, check it out. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Support the homies, and we will in turn give you some wonderful, wonderful content every week.
Interns.
Geoff, where can people check out your sports betting podcast?
Well, the Outkick Bets, just put it in podcast, your Apple Podcasts, your Spotify podcast search bar, and it'll pop up. My name's all over it. Outkick Bets with Geoff Clark.
Nice. You can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeff for Records.
And at MSPH Podcast. If you'd like to watch these videos on YouTube, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. And Shuddy Boy, where can people get some of the new merch we got up?
I'mAllGone.com. And then under collections, we have our own heading. You just click on that and it'll bring you over to the All Seeing Pooh selection and the Pooh-Tang Clan shirts.
Fuck yeah. Check them out.
Pooh-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
And look fresh in a fresh year.
This is the gray and red one. Oh, my nip's hard.
I'll live with that.
Turkeys are done.
I live with that.
And thank you once again for listening, friends. But until next time, something!